Dun, dun, dun. Here we go again. My usual 2:30 to about 3 o'clock daily, picking up my daughter. Again, these are the last few months because she'll be graduating to junior highs, and of course, junior high is pretty much unless there's something going on, they get bust. And it's funny how she wants to go to, because there's two junior highs. The junior highs are across the street from each other because they once were, one was a high school and one junior high, so they switched that when they built the new high school. So now it's just both junior highs. So my son went to one, and normally, if siblings go to one, you kind of, they're gonna send her there. So that's what she's hoping. It's cold. You see, I'm winter dressed. It's cold. I mean, this is one of my lighter winter coats, but it's still freaking. Let me see, what does this say? Turn on the radio. Let's see. I don't know why it's not saying. Probably have to turn the car on, because I turned the car off because it's, it's not let's see. So it's 33 degrees out here. So it's fairly chilly day. And that's why, and it's windy. The wind is really gusting. I think it's like 15, 16 miles an hour. So it's gusty and cold. So the wind makes it a little colder. Still got heat on in my house. This time last year, we had fans, air conditioning. It was in the 60s every day. So this year, we only going to have summer, May, June, July, August, September. Looks the way it is now, looks like winter probably going to come early again because it's lingering. Winter is lingering. But today, let's just try to get some positive ideas and positive conversations about parents. And I do call it positive daddy hour, but it's for all parents to try to find some positivity in child rearing, because it's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, even when they get grown, you still deal with them. Hey, Pale Horse, what's happening? Climate change is being engineered. It's like last year, it was dry, didn't rain, lakes was all dropping down. This year, like normally we get like 80 some inches of snow. This year we didn't. 333. Yeah. Well, I got 233 because I got the radio. And I'm on Central Time, so it's 233. Yeah, I feel what you're saying though. Oh, before I forget, they said Drake bet 150,000 that the Warriors are gonna win the Western Conference. We'll see. I still don't think they're gonna push the Suns through, but we'll see how it plays out. Because that's the thing, when you bets should be fluid. You follow the information. And it's good to talk about parenting and what works, what doesn't work, because we do that a lot when they're babies. But as they get older, we tend not to ask as many questions, but we still should. It's no book. It's no book. Like when you take that baby home, it ain't nothing to tell you how everything gonna go. Everything ain't gonna go the way they expect it to go. I mean, do you breastfeed? Do you do formula? I mean, it's a lot of those. And it's funny, when they newborns, they get 1,000 diapers for like $3. Shoot, once they get older, they got you hooked. They become more and more expensive. Much love and respect, OG. Sad to see Raptors not being full strength. They in trouble. I agree. Because this game's tonight. Timberwolves play tomorrow, which I don't. They got quite a break, but they play tomorrow, is my understanding. And I don't know. The Twins were supposed to play, but I think they were supposed to play up in Boston. I think SD. That's what he said. He said they're up in Boston, but he said it's streaming. You can catch it. But it's cold here. I mean, it's dry enough for them to play, but it ain't. It's cold. It's cold. I mean, it's dry, but it's cold. But Boston, I mean, I imagine on the East Coast it ain't much different than here. I can't imagine it being a lot warmer. Now up north of me, about 3-4 hours, it's still, they got feet of snow. I know Montana had to dig out, but North Dakota still got hit. And you know, again, I'm only about 5 hours from Canada. I'm way north. Like where I live is almost like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, as far as you look at the line, how far north I live. But Minneapolis is on the border of Minnesota, Wisconsin. I mean, I'm 40 minutes from Wisconsin. Before they started selling beer on Sundays, that's where you had to go to get beer on Sundays. You had to go to Wisconsin to get beer, unless you went to a, you know, of course, tap room or something like that. But as far as buying from the store, like here, we still have government-owned stores. Walmart is one of the few exceptions where you can get and not just get the 3-2 beer. And I think they're doing away with the 3-2 beer since Utah stopped doing it. And you know, parenting is not an easy. Hey, the one 42 here in Creedmoor, North Carolina. Oh, really? That cold down there? Oh my goodness, I would have never thought it was that cool down there. Because my daughter was in Charlotte last week, and she said it was in the 70s in Charlotte. And I'm still mad at Charlotte. She could not find me any A&T gear. So, oh yeah, Aggie pride for sure. And it's funny, like I found on eBay a hoodie, but it's 3X, and I don't mind. I'll wear big stuff, so I might get that. And a couple hats I might get too. Because really don't have a lot of Aggie stuff, so I got to get some more of it. Start wearing more Aggie gear, get some more gear. So I'm end up doing that. And yeah. Right, just had 80-degree weather. Oh, okay, it went down. Okay, I got you. Yeah, my daughter was like sending pictures back in shorts and shit because her aunt lives in Charlotte. Her aunt and their little cousins live in Charlotte. But like, this is how weird the flight was. She had to fly down there. They flew from here to Chicago, then they went straight to Charlotte. But to fly back, they flew them to New Jersey. They ended up having a 6-hour layover. They were supposed to get in like 4 o'clock. I didn't end up picking them up till about 9:15. So they was in New Jersey, but my daughter got to see a flyover Manhattan, Manhattan is really beautiful to fly over. She saw the Statue of Liberty, but to see Manhattan, you know, and to understand the size of the island and the way it's packed. Kind of cool visual for sure. But it's like her uncle, her aunt's husband doesn't like the children to have stuff. He doesn't like stuff. So the children have electronics, but they just don't have a lot for their minds. So interesting. And because he makes like her aunt is a nurse practitioner, but her husband is the main. I mean, she's a nurse practitioner, makes good money, but her husband makes better money. So he kind of is in charge a little bit, which shouldn't be like that. Should always be a balance between each. Should be a balance between each. That's how you get along with your relationship. Now, of course, you should fill in each other too. Like what you weak in, that person might be strong in, and so that you fill in for each other. And so that's how you achieve the balance. You find, you know, that's what they meant when, you know, people say they fit each other. That's what the fit is. The fit is finding the balance together. Where you're weak, you know, she's strong or he's strong. And that's how you really come together. And that's how you keep it going. But like my first wife, she really liked controlling men. And when I was younger, I was controlling. She likes the same type of dudes too. It's so funny. You look at all the dudes and the dude she married now. I'm more handsome than him, but very similar. He's very fair skinned. Well, I think he's actually his mother is European. So but that's what some people like. Some people like people that are in charge. My daughter's godparents are like that. The wife is totally, her godmother is totally in charge. And that works for some people. Got to go to work, my dude. Okay. All right, then. All right, the one. Say less, man. Definitely say less. Thank you for coming in. Definitely thank you for coming in. Say less for sure. And you stay safe as well. And so just trying to give some inspirational talk while I'm sitting here. Oh, I'm going to be on the Wake Up Radio later. I didn't get much sleep. I had about 3 hours of sleep last night. I went to bed at 4. My daughter called me because it was cold this morning. She's like, can you come get me? I'm like, all right. So I've been up, and then I had therapy on my elbow. Oh my goodness, felt so good. Felt so good. Ultrasound. I got an ultrasound machine, but I need to get more of the goo because I used it all. So I have one at home, but I need a cordless one too. And I want to get one that's hot and cold because you can get the ultrasound because they're for women's faces mainly. You can work on this stuff, but they go hot and cold. So I wouldn't mind the cold because sometimes that helps with the inflammation. And because I hurt my knee, I ain't been playing pickleball. So I got to make an appointment to see the orthopedic person and probably get x-rays. Hope not another MRI. I'll tell you, I've had so many MRIs. I bet I've had 40 MRIs. The least, I bet 40. I was probably averaging 5 or 6 a year for a while. And I don't like going to them ones there where they put you in like the casket, they call that. I can't do that. I've done it one time. And the first time I went on an MRI was back in 04. And they had a truck. The MRI was a truck that could pull off. And they put me under like that. And I did it for my shoulder. Because I don't know, I did something to my shoulder and couldn't move my arm for almost a year. I mean, couldn't raise my arm like this for about a year. And then my doctor was like, because I missed a little bit of therapy, and she's like, well, I don't know. And then she's like, well, lift your arm. She said, lift your arm in the wall. I'm doing like, oh, she's like, oh, okay. It's like, well, I'll go to therapy. So I flipped in a car at 17. I've had shoulder because I tore some of this. So I've always had shoulder issues. And then I have a torn pec. Well, no, that's what is it called? I don't know. Back here it's torn. I'll think of the name of it in a minute, but it's torn. So that is but that's the price you pay for being active. I've been active for 60 years, been lucky to be active for 60 years, still active, hope to be active for another 20. Keep my mind and memory. That is one thing you really have to work on, strengthen your memory now. That's why I put my keys in the same place, put my wallet in the same place. Practice little things like take your credit card number out and try to memorize the 4 groups at a time. Just to see if you can look at it and just remember it. Because remember, when this stuff hits you, it's short-term memory that they attack. I think we're gonna start seeing a lot more protested games. How that woman sneaked to log a chain into the ring and then lock herself to the hoop. It's all fake. Yeah, like that chick tried to glue herself to the court. If you watch my video, okay. Because you know how if she really did it, that would rip some skin off. So yeah, to try to super glue her hand on the court. Exactly. And so she was sitting there, or she's in the hallway, and she had to have not necessarily floor seats, but lower floor seats, because you got to have special tickets to even get down there. You can't even get into that area. That's where the hoop she came out of. That's where the Timberwolves come out of. The other side is where the other team's locker room is. So she was down in there. So that means she had pretty decent tickets to get down there. So seemed like she'd have been on camera or something, but she paid a little pretty penny to just do that little BS. Because that's where, you can't just walk in there. You got to have passes to get in there. It's like there's also the food is better in that area, so you got to be getting the food in that area and everything. So unless you had a pass, you can't even, that's better food there. And it's funny, when you sit like dang near courtside, you have to, the seats be, and it'd be people on you. And if you get this big plate of food, and it'd be like the gourmet type of food compared to what you get up in the upper level, or even the second level. It's the food is not as good. It's different food down there. Really good ass food. So yeah, this is the first year I didn't make any games, and I don't know if I'm gonna go to any playoff games or not. They've been having upper tickets. You can sit up top. All the lower tickets are sold, but the upper tickets are still available. Crisis actors gone wild. Exactly, they staging everything now. Yep, yep. And they still, pushing the China thing. Still pushing it, and the longer it stays cold, this thing can activate. So that could be the agenda is keeping it cold so that stuff can linger. Because they know once the sun hit, there's no chance with that thing. And then the false information, talking about the snake venom and everything, and people going with it, like they, passing the newest news. That kills me when people really think they passing the newest news. People are silly, and people fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Memphis in trouble. Memphis in trouble is going to 7 games. I think 7 at least. Hey, DeAndre, what's happening? I think 7 games at least too. I think they're gonna push Memphis probably. I don't know. I really say though, if Edwards keeps playing well, Edwards will make a difference. And with Ja again, his size, hard fouls. Playoffs supposed to be hard fouls. But look at Lobo's video. Like my video showed how they didn't try to score on that last time with the Nets. The Nets did not try to score. And Lobo showed how they did. Kevin Garnett had Tatum, and he didn't follow Tatum to the basket. So that was all Globetrotter basketball. You see how they do it? Globetrotter basketball. Same thing. I still think they all wear earbuds. And so that's how they're able to script it so fluidly. Lay back. Tatum, you shoot. Shoot to the basket, Tatum. Double teaming somebody that ain't a threat. So you saw it. You saw it. And that's the good thing is everybody's, I think I've really started a part of critically looking at sports. And I'm cool with that, and as I said with Lobo, I like that other people can make better content of the same kind of thing because that's what it's going to take to expose them. But again, when you go to entertainment, all publicity is good publicity to entertainment. So kind of got to remember that too. That it's all entertainment and all of it, they kind of don't shy away from. All of it is the same to them. So we're just going to keep exposing it though. And I think eventually they're going to have to admit that all of it is scripted, just like wrestling. Just like wrestling. It is all scripted. And then it's another USFL game today because I think the game in DC, one of the East Coast games was canceled Saturday night. Or it's yesterday. It was canceled yesterday. So I think, I'm not sure which team, but one of the teams on the East Coast, I want to say DC, but I don't remember them having a DC team because the Generals played Saturday. So I'm not sure which East Coast team plays, but one of them's playing today. And it's smart to put the football on Sundays. It's smart to put the spring football on Sundays. It's just they got to compete with the NBA finals. But once the NBA, I don't know how many games they play. It's only 8 teams. But then again, Canada has only got about 6 or 8 teams, and they continue. So, and people still, go to their championships and everything. They got TV coverage, America and here. So, Americans like football, and Americans will support football year round. Now, it's funny watching the Michigan Panthers and the Houston Gunslingers, I think they're called. That's where Jim Kelly played. I had a couple friends played there too. But I think they played at Michigan State. Not sure, but I think. and it was hardly anybody there. I would have been surprised if they had 1,000 fans. I really would. Nobody at that game. But again, the weather wasn't the greatest, and this is new. So diehard football fans, compared to the games they showed, I think Friday night, it was more fans there Friday night to see. I think it was the Generals played Friday night. They had a lot more fans. They probably had, and that looked like a college stadium too. But I bet they had 20, 10 to 20. It's hard to say because it wasn't anybody sitting up high. So hard to say how many people was actually there. Don't really know. So, but yeah, so I'm just waiting. There we go. Trying to see what time it is. Okay, they'll be out in a minute. She'll be out in a minute. Run her home, and then I think I'm gonna take a nap and do the wake up radio. So I think it's just B Making. I don't think it's under Big Pontiac. If you see Big Pontiac, it's gonna be me, but I might have to use my name. I'm not sure. If we have to use our users' names in the content, I'm not sure, but it's B Making if nothing else. So look for that. Help that. I haven't made a video on there in a long time. I forgot how to get into it. So, but yeah, I just putting the content out there. Just trying to be as positive as possible. I mean, I talk shit about the right things. I don't talk just putting down my people. I don't personally put down any Europeans. I'm talking about it as a culture. It's like it's a there we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, I had a bill. I know I didn't need. My insurance paid for it, and that's what they were saying. It's like, no, they made a mistake. And I was like, I know they did. Because this is my insoles, and I get new insoles every year. But what this year I did, I went early to get them. They're like $500. And so I went early. I got measured in November, early December, but you only get a new pair once a year. So I end up getting them delivered. I know. Yeah, I know. I took a phone call. I had a phone call I had to take. Yep. Yeah, I had a phone call. That's all. Thank you, though. Yeah, I just had a phone call that I had to take. But I got insoles in my shoes, so, and then the new ones don't squeak. The old ones was like scrap, scrap, scrap. I thought it was kind of funny. They social engineering and climate engineering. They're social engineering and climate engineering. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, this thing in China is the same thing. It's trying to keep that fear. Will it get here? You know, it's the fear program, and it comes from the Democrats. There's no doubt it comes from the Democrats. You could almost say this whole 2 years of agenda comes from the Democrats. Because what did Trump say? Trump said as soon as it comes, it's going to disappear just like it appeared. That was Trump's thing. So that was the only way they could beat him, was that. That's why I don't care what anybody says. The Republicans helped defeat the Afghanistan army. The Republicans put them special ops, and they helped them to make Biden look bad, because this is the dirty tricks they do. I mean, hell, in Syria, we have the Department of Defense fighting CIA, all back with American military stuff, but they fighting each other. Now you tell me how, playing both sides. This is what they do. Like the people that paid for all that equipment, that Germany, to get Germany out of the financial struggles they was having, the money just poofed and came out of nowhere. They didn't even have the money for that. They didn't have the money for the armaments. So the people, when they had these wars, it'd be people backing the both sides. People backing both sides, all these wars. Same thing with Vietnam, same thing for World War II, World War One. And it's never what it seems. I mean, Vietnam made no sense. Playing cowboys and Indians in the jungles. When war is about taking the capital, that is the main point of the war, is to take the capital. That's why when the French was in Vietnam, they was in Hanoi. They had the capital. Not one time did they try to take the capital. They just bombed it. That ain't how you hold land. You hold things. Like you watch the movie Hamburger Hill. What they don't tell you is that was like the third or fourth time they fought on that hill. They would go up that hill, take it, and it had no real value. The hill had no value, so they would disregard it and then have to go back again when the troops were there. So both sides sacrifice people. If you study Vietnam, both sides sacrifice people. They've been with the weather since Popeye and even before that. Yeah, of course. They admitted when they flooded that town in England in the late 40s, early 50s. Good cop, bad cop. They're saying Florida governor's playing the new JFK role. DeSantis. Yeah. I think they're trying to give him a presidential push too. I really do. Now, even though a lot of people are backing Trump still, I think DeSantis is going to be the one with the juice. We'll see. Does he want the presidency? I think he's going. I think if he goes into the initial polling, I think he'll probably get good numbers across the country with conservatives. Because nobody's going to vote for these idiots that's in there now. I mean, they are going to get wiped out come November. They're going to be wiped out. But that's the same thing happened to Obama. Obama lost. Obama had full control when he went in. People's always lying about Obama, that they wouldn't let Obama get his stuff off. That's a lie. Obama had everything, and then the Tea Party took over. So it's the same thing all over again. Now they're saying that they're going to let them drill on land. They're going to, open the federal lands up for drilling and stuff. It's too late. Too late. November going to come before you know it. Yeah, the children's is coming. So I guess I'm going to call it again, positive vibes out to everyone. For sure. Be positive as you move around your day. Stay safe. Yeah, here she is. And so until we meet again, I'm going to be on the Wake Up Radio sometime this early evening. And, till we meet again, say less.